from by people from my old boarding school in high school. I went to an all boys school, right? And I had been added to it before, and I left it like a day later because, as expected, the conversation is only about sending memes or sending naked women and talking about really crude things about these women, right? It's very misogynistic kind of space, right? And it's the boys' club, so the boys with the boys kind of vibes, that kind of stuff. So I normally just leave.
And it's like messages all day long.
Yeah, bruh. And the group's the capacity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're to kick someone out to let me in.
Oh, I know who that guy was.
We've got like an old phone number that someone shared or something, whatever, right? Yeah. But there are a lot of dudes in there.
Yeah.
Because our stream alone was maybe 200 dudes, right? But the other people from different streams or graduation years, whatever you want to call it, right? So the first thing I asked them was like, why am I in this group, right?
Fair question.
Yeah, right. Who added me and why have you added me, right? And
which is another thing about WhatsApp. I feel like you should be invited to a group and you should be able to decline.
Yeah.
Because now it creates an awkward situation. Yeah. Now you're like, oh, look at that dick leaving again. Like I left a family group. Right? God re-added. Hey, you're not gonna leave. I'm just like, oh man.
You can never leave the clan. You come back to the clan. Yeah. So you send me a private message like, listen, I want to add you to this group. Are you okay with it? That's a basic thing about consent, right? Whatever activities, because we like to think consent is a sexual thing, right? But consent is throughout life.
Just that the sexual thing has
greater implications,
exactly,
I suppose. Exactly. Or more like damaging
more dire consequences that can result in.
Yeah. Often. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. But as with anything, right, we take people's consent for granted. Now you've added me to WhatsApp group, and I have no interest in
and you have, being in that group. It's there, right, for you to stay.
Yeah, right.
You're not going anyway.
Yeah. So they added me, and so I asked them like, okay, what's the point? Why did you add me, right? Because they added me, and then like for 2 hours I'm just like seeing nonsense, right? And I'm like, nah, right. So then I asked before I left, right? They're like, oh, we had questions about your rope bondage stuff. Like, what's that about? I was like, oh, just send me a bunch of questions and I'll respond in more sort of a comprehensive response to it, right?
Yeah.
So it's the obvious questions were like things like, are you having sex with all these people? Why did you get into it? How can I get into it so I can get into some of this good sex? Are you straight, right? Because obviously they've seen dudes that have tied up as well, right? So clearly I'm tying up dudes. Or he's tying up a lot of women. He must be gay, right? Otherwise, why would women be comfortable with him?
Exactly. Right? And he says he's not smashing.
Yeah, right. So he's definitely gay, right? Right. So these are all like
and this is a boys' school in Zim, so you know
where it's coming from.
Yeah,
exactly. The background is hectic.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
in rural Zimbabwe.
Kutama, right?
Yeah. So all these questions are coming through, right? And instead of responding from a place of, oh, I'm right and you're wrong, I just like laid out, okay, here's my account of why I'm doing this work, right? And why I think it's important to do this work and to engage with these kind of questions, right? So I explained why I don't have sex with the people, right? Because, the other question was like, do you get erections as well? What do you do when you get blue balls? And I'm like, if you think about it as a job you're doing, and not a job in the mundane way of doing a job, but a job as in I'm here to provide a service, right? What business does your erection have there, right? A tattoo artist is not out here tattooing naked people and getting erections, or unless you and that person or those people have invited that energy into that space.
Yeah,
you've navigated and you're like, listen, if it takes a sexual turn, great.
Or unless you're just an inappropriate dude.
Yeah, right. That's what it is, right? Yeah. We have this idea that the moment I'm naked with the person, the moment I'm intimate with the person, sex must follow, right? And you are responsible for fixing my blue balls,
right?
That's
the same for free.
Yeah, right. So this is the thing that people project because of how they view sex, right? Like the idea of like going to the movies and you fondling each other in the cinema as a teenager, right? And afterwards we must go to handle this problem because now I got blue balls, and you're grumpy if it doesn't happen, and it's a whole fucking thing, right? So I'm like, nah, I don't have sex with these people because that's not what it's about, right? And that would be a very abusive way of approaching it as well, right? If I know people are likely to be in the mood for sex. And then I'm like, let's just go with the flow. But we've pre-established that we're not going to have sex. That's a fucked up situation. Right? Because it's like someone who's drunk.
Yeah.
Right? This person is drunk with this experience. And it really can feel like that for some people. People go to very different space. They're not necessarily in the room with you anymore in that sense. They're not rational anymore. Right? So it's very easy to say, oh, yeah, we just like stumbled into it, right? But it's my job to be there and be the responsible part, no matter what this person ends up doing, right? They've entrusted their safety and well-being into my hands, right? Quite literally, right? They're going to be tied up and things with the wrong person, things can go really, really south, right? And they're like, okay, that kind of makes sense. And so how do you get these people to trust you? Right. And I'm like, not about getting people to trust you. It's about you being genuine about why you're there. Right. Yeah, I'm not trying to buy.
What are your techniques?
Yeah. Like, give me your top 5 points. What is the best way in the shortest amount of time?
For someone to trust you.
Asking for a friend. Right. So I'm like, if your intentions are genuine, people pick up on it. If they're not, they pick up on it. Right. And even if my intentions are genuine and you still don't feel like you trust me, then you should be in that space. I always tell people, we're going to do this together with wholehearted engagement, right? Because people imagine if you're being tied up, you're just there as a limp body being tied up.
Yeah.
Like, now you're an active participant. You have to decide, do you want music in the space? Are you going to curate the playlist? Do you want incense burning? Do you want what time of day? Do you want to be naked? Do you want to be dressed a certain way? You want to be wearing your onesie? What do you want to? What are you hoping to get out of it, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to make art? Do you want to celebrate your body? Do you want to feel nice things? Do you want to get a nice warm hug from the rope? Do you just want to forget some bullshit in your life? Why are you here? Right? Because that can determine where we're going, or it can determine if I want to work with you as well, right? Because some people try to use it as a therapy, right? Which it can work if it's part of actual therapy.
Yeah.
Right. You're still doing other therapeutic things. You're still seeing a professional. But to come to me and say, fix all my problems by time, that's not a healthy vibe.
You've got it. That's another problem you have right there.
Right. Yeah. Right. So if you're genuine about why we're doing this, why this experience is happening, and by genuine, I mean I talk to people on end about it before we even get to the point we're doing this thing. About maybe 3-4 weeks. We schedule a date in August. We start talking now. Like every other day, I'm like, oh yeah. Have you had any more thoughts? Why do you want to do this?
Okay.
Right. And because it's so public, or at least there are a lot of people I've worked with who are okay with their photos being shared, right? You can DM that person. I'm like, listen, what was your experience with Tapio? Right? Or you DM the other person. Maybe this one has a biased experience. I DM, right? And I can confidently say, DM whom the fuck you want to DM, or ask whomever I've worked with. And at the very least, they'll be neutral about me.
Right.
And that experience, they won't have negative things to say about my conduct. Right. Maybe they just didn't like rope work. It's not for them, right? That's not a reflection of me. That's not
like on you.
Work.
That's just
right. So they're like, oh, okay. So now you can kind of sense like there's disappointment in the room. You get the feeling like, okay, these are not the answers they were expecting, right? And then